Good morning, guys. It's Ryan at Magnum Sports, and today's the day that a lot of local shoppers and people that come from afar have been waiting for. We have Hoyt now in stock. So we just posted a video last week about how excited we are to get Hoyt in our hands, and a week later they've arrived. So we have a couple different models that we have sitting right here in front of us. Here's the Ventrum Pro 30, and then I have the RX7 sitting right here, the all carbon bow. Major changes from last year, the carbon series, is they went to just this two carbon splice in the riser as opposed to the twisty and turny 3. I've shot the RX7 and the RX7 Ultra. I absolutely love these bows. I believe I'll be shooting the RX7 Ultra all year this year. It's a longer axle to axle bow, but with that I gain the stability that I'm really looking for in and out of the tree stand. But all that being said, I wanted to talk to you guys about some of the specifications on these bows. Now, there are claims and there are things that I've done to kind of verify exactly what's going on. First of all, both of these bows sit somewhere around 342 feet per second, which is pretty quick. Actual IBO, I think, is going to be, 270s to 290s, depending on our arrow selection and the weight of our broadhead, so on and so forth. So incredibly fast bows. They're gonna do everything you need and want them to do in the tree stand. We always get this competition going on between Hoyt and Matthews, and it's always like back and forth. One year Hoyt's number one, the next year Matthews is number one. I shot Matthews last year, and I'm moving back to Hoyt this year. They just got a really, really nice feel in the hand. They did a great job with the palm swells in their grips. So that was a big change for me. Their grip has been kind of cut away really nicely. And, oftentimes in the previous Hoyts I've shot, I would often just remove the grip and shoot bare riser to hand. That is not even necessary in these bows. These bows actually are super comfy in the hand. It's like it marries with your palm so well. In addition to that, their weight, they are light bows. I think Hoyt claims this particular bow, which is the Ventrum, and I measured it with a rest on, and it's just a whisker biscuit and a D-loop that I kind of threw on there real quick for this video. But when I measured it, it came in at literally just a hair under 5 pounds is where it was. They claim it's 4.45 pounds, and fact check me on that. But all in all, like comparatively so, and that's with the stabilizer on, it was just at 5 pounds. So I'm pretty happy. I'd be able to tote this thing around all day and all night. However, their carbon model is where it's really at when you're talking about weight. So this thing is light, right? 3.9 pounds, and you guys, I measured it with the stabilizer and I came in just shy of 4.25 pounds. This thing is ridiculously light. And you pay what you get, or you pay for what you get. You're gonna pay a lot of money for this bow, but if you want a bow where you're backpacking and you don't want fatigue to be an issue, holy cow. Not to mention, both of these bows are extremely dead in the hand. And what I mean by that is I've shot bows, forgive me, give me 1 second. I've shot bows to where after the shot rings, right, it feels like there's a tuning fork in your hand. That's what we're talking about with dead in the hand. We want this bow to literally just not be able to move your hand afterwards. We don't want that vibration, that residual vibration to come back in your arm. And these bows have done a great job at achieving what we call a dead bow. After the shot breaks, you don't have any vibration coming back into you, the shooter, and that's incredible. It's awesome. So the brace height on the Ventrum is at 6 inches, and on the carbon, I believe it's 6.25. Let me double check. Yeah, it's 6.25 on your carbon bow, which would lead you to a little bit more forgiving of a bow as far as when you're shooting downrange. Both these bows are extremely adjustable, from 30 pounds up to 80 pounds, depending on the modules, and your draw lengths from 25 to 30 inches in these particular models. They also offer these in 33-inch models, which the Ultra is what I'll be shooting, is a 33-inch bow. It's a longer axle to axle bow, but boy, is there a difference. So we're on the range. I'm not going to shoot the carbon today. I'll get into that tomorrow, and I'll post another video about the carbon bows. But today I want to shoot the aluminum bow, the Ventrum Pro 30. We're, again, extremely happy that Hoyt has come into the shop and allowed us to work on their bows and do all the things necessary as a pro shop here. So let's throw a few arrows downrange and let's talk about it before and after the shot and see what you guys think. All right, guys, here we are with the Ventrum Pro 30, and we're getting ready to give it its first shots. Everything's set up generally pretty okay. We got a D-loop on here. The rest, everything's lined up accordingly with the button. And we just want to talk about the draw and the after shot. So for the draw, I'm not using any fancy releases or anything like that. I can tell you right now it's harsh up front versus in the back side of the draw. Not typical of some of the other bows I've shot, such as Matthews. Usually it's harder towards the rear, but I could hold this literally all day. This is actually really comfy, and the way it's sitting in my hand is extremely comfortable. It keeps my arm out of the way. This has got to be set up real close to a 29-inch draw length because it's actually right where I would want it to be. But I can generate a lot more muscle. Let's try the letdown here. So it's harsh, it pulls, but it's not like consistently harsh. It eases back into the bow. And again, this is at maxed out at 70 pounds, not something I normally shoot. Somewhere between 65 to 68 pounds is where I'm at. So those extra few pounds may seem like something. But it's really easy to draw because all my muscles contracted here are able to work hard up front. And then it's a pretty easy, smooth, really smooth draw rearward from there. So I really enjoy that. With some of the other bows I've shot, such as my own Matthews that I shot last year, I would notice it'd be easy, and then I'd hit this part back here where it's actually a lot more difficult to generate that energy to break it into a full draw, right? So this is really, really comfy, and I truly enjoy it. So let's give it another draw and see. So again, not a problem. And let's go with that let off one more time. So now that I'm expecting it, I can control it a little easier. But not bad at all to go from draw and let down. Pretty controllable. So let's give it a shot and see what we think. That's a pretty dead bow. Like maybe a little bit of shock, but I'm still missing quite a bit on this bow, right? If I throw a stabilizer on here, maybe a different stabilizer, if I throw a quiver even and have a few arrows hanging on that quiver, I would dang near say that this bow is dead in the hand. And we're talking an aluminum bow. So, wow. I'm really impressed by this particular bow and the way it feels in the hand. I will tell you, when I'm sitting in the back wall, there's a little bit of sponginess, but I have yet to find a bow that truly does not have it. They're just not out there. So again, I've shot these bows earlier this year when we went ahead and got on board with Hoyt. But I have no real complaints at the moment. So, and I've been doing this stuff for quite some time, and I'm actually really excited that Hoyt's in the shop. We're able to give you guys a really, really quality bow at a really fair price for what it is. I mean, we're talking a top of the line shelf bow, right? Some of the other cool features that we didn't talk about, but if you guys look, they have this integrated Picatinny rail, which is super nice. Like you guys can see, I have kind of a jacked up rest on here because it was flying by the seat of my pants, but everything we do can literally be integrated. My sight, they have different they have a rail on the back right here where everything is like at that center of gravity for the bow, right? So I don't have to worry about, having to get stabilizers that cock my bow to the left or right or anything like that, because everything's perfectly in sync in these bows when you get it, the right accessories on the bow. So again, guys, tomorrow I'll be shooting a video on the RX-7, the carbon bows, and then I'm going to do some in-depth testing with these bows. We're going to go ahead and fire them through the chrono, see exactly what they're coming at. I'll give you guys arrow weights, field point weights, all that fun stuff. And then we'll simply let you guys, decide whether or not this is the right bow for you for this up and coming season, or seasons rather. So stay tuned. We look forward to talking a little bit more about these bows with you all. And go ahead, subscribe and like the channel. And remember, shoot straight, have fun, stay safe. We look forward to seeing you guys on the range.